Hi everybody, Dr. Pingle here. In the previous video we talked about hotspot analysis, which is a handy and powerful way of looking for patterns in your data, especially in choropleth data that can be a little bit messy. Hotspot analysis's job is to kind of look at a local neighborhood and determine how unusual that local neighborhood is from the rest of the data set. So it takes each, for instance, polygon input, defines a neighborhood around it, and then compares that neighborhood to the rest. One of the problems with hotspot analysis is that it has a number of parameters. It has a conceptualization of spatial relationships, which is essentially how we define a neighborhood, or at least part of it. It has a distance method, and it has a distance band or threshold distance that you can input or it can calculate automatically. Many people have found those settings confusing, and so Esri has developed another tool called optimized hotspot analysis. And optimized hotspot analysis's job is to basically perform the exact same analysis, and that it's going to be producing a Getty's Ord G statistic, but it's going to do that by sort of figuring out some of these settings for you. So all you really need to put in are the optimized value, your output values, your input values. There is an override setting, which is that you can decide what that distance band should be, so you still have a little bit of control, but less control over the output than with the other. On the other hand, you may not have a very good reason to choose some of those settings, and so the simplified settings in this tool can make your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and run this with the default settings, which is to say hardly any settings at all. The tool runs fairly quickly, so you'll see it kind of chugging through the data. We've got about 3,000 different polygons here. Again, just as in the last example, representing income inequality. So the darker, the more unequal the income is. And when we finish, we get a plot that's actually quite similar to the regular hotspot tool. In fact, many of the clusters are the same. So if we go to appearance and our swipe tool, we can compare between the optimized set and the more typical hotspot analysis using the regular hotspot tool. And if we compare, you can actually see that these are nearly identical. Some mild differences around the edges, but that's about it. So the output is really not going to be that much different. The real difference between these two tools is that optimized hotspot analysis has fewer settings, which if you don't know what you're doing is probably a good thing. However, if you've got a good reason to sort of want to more finely control how the tool works, then the regular hotspot tool is probably your best bet. So I would suggest using the optimized hotspot analysis as your starting point, and then moving into the hotspot analysis tool if you need to get more detail. All right, thanks.